Hello and welcome to another session of BMCP.live. Today I have the pleasure to introduce you to the team of AuResources, the latest gold tokenization project on the market. We are talking today with the three founders and key people of the team: Norman Peires, co-founder and chairman; Ian Cooper, chief executive officer; and Maxime Atton, chief technology officer. Welcome. So my first question goes to Ian Cooper as CEO of AuResources. Can you shortly give us an introduction of the company, of AuResources? Where do you come from? What are you planning?
Yeah, thanks, Alex, and thanks again for this opportunity to do this with you. So, AuResources, we're a Swiss fintech company. Our real focus is pioneering on venture leveraging blockchain technology to revolutionize the precious metal markets, specifically right now gold, with our unique offering for producers that can raise funds without any equity dilution or accruing any debt, while on the other side, investors can basically get gained exposure to the gold market at a discounted price. We are working with gold miners. We call them sort of the junior miners. We do the due diligence ensuring the production and tracing it all on the blockchain to bring more ESG regulatively compliant gold to the market at a much lower than market price itself. From our side, we saw that there was our background is miners, so we saw that there was a gap in the market by addressing the commodities companies looking to pre-finance mines with less risk and cost, and basically presenting this to institutional precious metal investors and retail gold investors. And my background is sort of over 25 years in primarily in business development and sales. I've come from sort of corporate sort of structure, and then moved across into both private and public working. And for me, I'm really sort of focused on these opportunities that came up, and knowing Norman's drive and expertise, and obviously Max as well, and just felt like a natural kind of movement to come and join the team at AuResources and kind of lead this new startup in this sector, specifically navigating the exciting complexities of blockchain, old world mining, and obviously new world initiatives as well.
Thank you. I would like to ask you, probably Norman, to start with a short introduction of yourself.
Well, as an introduction, mining is a second career for me. It began about 11 years ago, and I funded during the 11 years from my small family office the operations of what we had going on in this mine. But after COVID, it became clear that if we were going to make a go of it, we were going to have to be innovative. The marketplace for fundraising for our kind of business was very scarce, and we didn't frankly want outside shareholders, and we weren't really set up for borrowing either. So we were looking for an innovative way. I'm always personally looking for what's going on, and we realized after, it's quite serendipitous the way things work out, but I learned about blockchain. I learned about its usefulness for tokenizing real estate, first of all, and then I appreciated it could be applied to our future gold production. And I discussed this with various people, but most importantly with Max, who's in this call with us. And he came back very quickly after a little discussion we had with a prototype of how we could do this. We showed it around, And suddenly we had a new business approach. We also found others who were interested to join us. If we could fund our mine, could we fund their mine? So we knew that we had something really good. And that's where it came from. It's really the democratizing of gold futures, gold future production in a way that hasn't really been accessible to the individual investor, not readily.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, Max Atton as CTO.
I'm Maxime, Atton, the Chief Technology Officer of AuResources, and my background is mostly divided into about 15 years of software engineer experience and about 10 years working for major French brands, where I've been implementing digital strategies into their retail operations. And while this last 10 years, I've witnessed the rise of distributed ledger technologies, and all they could be used with more traditional financial products like forward sales. Knowing Norman for about a decade now, we had this discussion, as he said, and we found out that that was technically, legally possible, and that the market was coming to the realization that real-world asset tokenization is really the best use for the blockchain technology. So here we are now with a real product and a way to the market.
So, probably Max, could you just explain shortly what is the underlying tech used for the tokenization, and what features does the platform has, and how does it work in general?
Yeah, sure. So we utilize a mix of both Web2 and Web3 technologies. We have, regarding the Web3, so the blockchain aspect, we have the main component, which are the tokens that we are issuing, where they are based on a very solid standard called the CMTAT. So that's a Capital Market and Technology Association standard. It's made of major players in Europe, both in the banking and in the Web3 industry, like Signum Bank and the Tezos Foundation. And we have adjusted those token models to accommodate with our own mechanisms, which are the future gold and then the spot gold. Those are the two class of tokens we use. One represents the gold to be mined, and one represents the gold that's been mined. When an investor invest in one of our projects, he receives a token that is linked to the specific project and to the specific maturity attached. And at maturity, it can be converted into the spot version, which represents the gold storage. So that's pretty much the two models of token. Everything is deployed actually on the Polygon network, but we have plans to offer bridging solutions. And additionally, we have also created a whole set of smart contract used for our primary market, which is integrated into the platform, which let anyone settle instantly using the blockchain with various currencies and stablecoins. And as for the Web2 component, we actually provide a platform that let users track their investment. So the tokens they've from our platform, as well as the possibility to convert them into the spot version once the maturity arrives, and also access the primary market and soon the secondary market as well.
Okay, thank you very much. So I invest today, I get the gold ground token. It will then be automatically converted into the gold spot token once it's mined, right?
Yeah.
And at some point I have the option to redeem it, or I can potentially exit my investment, or is there a chance to exit my investment earlier? How does this work?
Yeah, that's indeed one of our main focus, is offering as many utility to the tokens as possible. One of them being the possibility to exit or enter a position at any point of time between the primary issuance and the maturity of the token. For the ground gold token, then for the spot token, it's even easier. What we are working on actually is first starting to integrate our token within decentralized exchanges. So we have already started the groundworks for integrating Uniswap V3 on the platform directly, helping letting any holders swap their future gold token to other maturities, for example, or project, as well as to stablecoin or cryptocurrencies. We will, by the way, start working on a liquidity provider campaign with our current and then future holders in order to allow them to become liquidity providers to the decentralized exchanges and eventually earn an additional income from the fees generated. And that's just one part of the utility we want to have. We also are in talk with various DeFi protocols to eventually offer other kind of trading, such as lending, borrowing, stacking, which are also on our roadmap. So the goal is to make that token not just useful to have physical gold in a specific amount of time, but to be useful in the whole period between the issuance to the maturity.
Thank you very much. Now, last but not least, Ian Cooper, CEO, Chief Operating Officer. One of the, I would say, most relevant parts, or a very important part of the whole tokenization project, is your cooperation with Classic Minerals, the mining company providing in the end the commodity in this case. Can you shortly elaborate on your cooperation and who Classic Minerals is?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Alex. I think to give some background, we were introduced to Classic Minerals approximately half a year ago, and I guess what drew us in even quicker to them as well was being a public listed company on the Australian Stock Exchange. They had already to comply with really strict regulation, which for us, as Norman has already alluded to, that this is a really good baseline for us in terms of due diligence. For us as a platform, our DD process is really strict. And for Classic Mineral, when we started the discussions, we found that they were sitting on huge reserves of gold, but again, it didn't make it any easier for them to turn that into actual production. For them, the main way would have been involved in diluting their shareholding even more, or acquiring expensive debt, even possible in the current high sort of interest rate environment that everybody's currently experiencing. So from our side, that's where I guess AuResources ourselves, we were able to immediately step in and walk them through the tokenization, the structure that Max has just spoken about in terms of their future gold production. And we already had discussions with yourselves at Black Manta, and it was quite a nice conversation to be able to come back to you to say, we've obviously got this listed company to provide the funding necessary against the delivery of their gold instead of the sort of traditional debt route that they were thinking of taking.
Thank you very much. You mentioned Max just already told us about the two different tokens in the process. Can you probably just say a few words about the overall legal structure on the product?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think so. As you mentioned, we feel like we're first market mover within this. However, the actual system that we're using is under the bailment system, which is a system that's widely adopted around the globe. So how that works is initially us at AuResource, we purchase the unmined gold at a discount represented by a token. So one token equals 1 gram of gold from Classic Mineral, and then we resell that to the investors. The investors then become the owner of the unmined gold, and they're called the bailor, and in the custody at AuResources, the bailee through Classic Minerals. So once the it's mined, the gold itself is then refined at 99.9% purity. It's then transferred across to a storage partner in Australia, which then becomes the new sub-Bailey instead of classic minerals. And then obviously the gold is no longer in the ground. The unmined gold token, as Max has recently referred to already, can then be converted into a spot token, subject to specific limits and fees. Investors can also request the physical delivery of the mined gold as well, in which if that were to happen, the token itself is then burnt.
Okay, thank you. And how long does it take to receive the gold from investment if I want to receive it or to redeem?
Yeah, that's another really good question. One that we've heard quite a few times, and I think another reason that we were really keen to kind of lock in with classic minerals is their intention is they want to go deeper. They want to really expand their operation. And the good thing for us is that the primary offering for classic minerals is the project intention is closing at the end of May, and the first maturity is actually going to occur this year in October 2024, and then the last one being in January 2026. So it's a really short process, and those tranches will be conducted every 3 months. However, given the effort that we at AuResources are putting in, listing the unmined gold tokens on decentralized exchanges and other DeFi protocols, we've already said it, but investors will be able to exit their positions, or if they wanted to, borrow against their token much sooner than January 2026.
Okay, thank you very much. The overall volume, I think we haven't mentioned that, is 60 million. So you have
That's
like
correct. Yeah.
Framework agreement. The first tranche is now 10 million.
Yeah.
And you accept a bunch of currencies. So it's not only like if I want to invest, it's not only US dollar or euros. You also accept cryptocurrencies. Can you just like now for all the interested viewers, like if I want to invest into the project, how does it work? How can I do? Where can I do it?
So I think from an investment point of view, there's a couple of ways to do it. Obviously, primarily via yourselves, Black Manta, obviously capital partners and Souls to participate in the primary offering. Investors as well, if they wanted to, they can head directly over to AuResources.io and participate in the sale, both on chain and off chain. On chain transactions are currently supported by USDT and USDC, and offer instant settlements. Off chain transactions can be settled in cryptocurrencies as well as in fiat. And again, subject to standard market terms and conditions.
Great. Yes, so thank you very much. To summarize it, AuResources is offering gold investment on a discount or discount on the spot price. The first million, 10%, afterwards 5%. So this is a first ever investment opportunity in gold before it's even mined, with a strong partner in Australia, a listed company, gold mine. AuResources, the whole team brings in years of experience in tech, in mining, and other businesses. Minimum investment is 10K.
That's great. Yeah.
I think this is also very important to mention. And as you said, one token represents 1 gram of gold. If anyone wants to invest, just visit AuResources.io. The whole team, Ian, Maxime, and Norman, are available for any further questions. Just reach out to us at Black Manta under this link. And yeah, we are very excited to work with you on this project. To be the first ones on the market with such a product, this is very exciting. The time is, I think, better than ever. We're in the tokenization space since a few years, but now we feel it's now really hitting off, retail as well as institutional side. So it's a very good timing to enter this market. And yeah, so I would say thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Ian, do you want to make a closing statement to our viewers?
Yeah, no, again, just to confirm, you know, obviously from our side, Alex, we feel really privileged to have obviously been partnered with you for some time now, and being able to bring this opportunity to the market. You know, it's like you say, funny enough, we were talking about the timing feels really spot on, and you know, from our side, everything's ready to kind of move forward, and this is something that we know we've got further supply behind us to kind of continue to grow. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity, Alex, to spend some time with yourself and just talk about AuResources, and yeah, looking forward to things growing really well with you.
Great. Thank you very much to everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you next time. Bye.